UN report warns Israel that it may be in violation of international law after it cordoned off nearly a fifth of the West Bank for army training. Israeli forces are demolishing Palestinian homes and driving people off their land, saying they might try to spy on the military drills. RT's Paula Sleer reports from one of these villages.
I'm standing in Susia, a Palestinian area that has been earmarked by the Israeli government for demolition. There are many similar situations. Just this week in the Palestinian village of Jimba, the Israeli soldiers went from house to house searching for weapons and ammunition. Now, they found nothing, but that was not before. They literally turned people's kitchens in particular upside down. The soldiers searched through bags of sugar and rice and salt and bottles of olive oil. Now, this comes as the United Nations issues a new report outlining that the Israeli government has declared some 18% of the West Bank closed military zones for training or for so-called firing zones. This is roughly the same amount of the West Bank that is in full Palestinian control. The report highlights the humanitarian effect that this will have on the roughly 5,000 people who live in and around these areas. And it also says that they are now in direct access of danger. At the same time, we're talking here about people, most of whom are herders, who need fields for their cattle to graze on, and many of these fields are being taken away from them. So this will affect their livelihood. At the same time, many of them are routinely arrested or detained for defying military orders. We're talking here about people who have very little access to electricity and to water. They essentially don't even have an infrastructure when it comes to housing and to any kind of normal facilities that people in the Western world take for granted. The report calls Israel an occupying power and reminds the Israeli government that international law condemns any kind of confiscation of private or public property unless it is for military necessity. Now, the Israelis are going to have a hard time claiming that the establishment of firing zones or areas for training their soldiers is of military necessity. Paula Sleer, RT, Susia in the South Hebron Hills.